drives for work that like if I don't I gotta have something to listen to, and it's just unbelievably perfect. So thanks for recording again.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of Tribute Coast, Sawyer. That's right, I brought the killers, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, from left to right. Give it up for the great, the powerful Rascal, the wonderful, the amazing Roshin,
Hello.
my dear friend and brother extraordinaire, Kyle,
How are we doing tonight?
and the man that makes it happen every single time, the savior of laws, the law savior, law savior.
Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me for another fantastic night of Dungeons and Dragons. Let's go! Monday night D&D. We're mixing up this week because my main man Kyle is about to go out of town.
Hell yeah.
Wednesday.
So let's
yeah,
yeah, how about that? So let's how about a recap? I can as always I look to my friendly biz note taker
Sawyer
Kyle.
messed up. Sawyer got beat up.
Sawyer got beat up. There's your
Yeah,
recap. Thank you very much.
Sawyer got beat up by another Sawyer.
Yo.
And then when everybody said, Sawyer, maybe you're messing with things you can't really control right now, he got pouty. And ran downstairs to go have a pouty drink.
He got pouty.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, Lola's like, yo, I gotta book it back to my house real quick. Because
Yo.
we have these evil robot men and I don't want them to go to my house. So we're about to see what kind of crib Lola's got today on MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
And I feel like those are the big bits. I remember we had a nice little closing sequence of Leonidas
Yeah.
staring out over the walls as the quadra of the Metal Four
The Metal
fled
Four?
Prince.
Metal 4. That's right.
Yo, that's it. That's it. That's the recap.
Excellent, excellent. Well, guess what? We are going to go ahead and open our session with a little flashback scene. Oh, this one's going to be loud until I turn it down. There we go. We find in this scene that we are looking at, for those of us who know, it's not hard to tell where we are. We're in Estrich. And Estrich is a unique place. The city itself was built within an ancient chasm in the desert. And the sand of this desert is a dark kind of color of sand, almost red even. And Estrich has few actual holidays, and they have also very little. There's not much in terms of organization in this city. The city is lawless to some degree. The people who have the most power in Estrich are the people who have the most money. And who has the most money? Some of the families who run this town. And there's organizations who operate in the shadows, and in general it's a place of gambling and crime. It's a spot where you could make a ton of money or you could lose your life. One of the holidays that Estrich celebrates is called Fourth Moon. And astronomically, the fourth full moon of the year happens to be when the moon passes closest to this planet. But for Estrich, it appears enormous in the sky, and the sandstorms from the west as the sun sets set this dark red color upon the moon as it floats over Estrich, built in this valley. Not only is it in a valley, but the peak of this valley is lined by these huge, enormous, and ancient bones. They call them the Great Bones of Estrich. They rise from the top of this chasm and kind of make up this canopy that covers this city that suffers from heat during the day and from cold at night. And as the sun sets here, we see in an old alleyway in this bustling and sweating and crime-filled city, there's a bar. And standing outside of the bar, we see two men. Two half-orcs, actually. One of them is, they're both relatively young, and they both, you can tell by looking at them that they look nervous. One of them is a tussle of brown hair on his head, and two large brass-rimmed goggles sit on his forehead. He has a tattoo of an anvil on his shoulder. The other one is incredibly familiar as we see a young Sawyer. Sawyer nervously pulls a cigarette out of his pocket and goes to light it with the lighter. And you can almost see that his hand is shaking. Sawyer at this point is working for the 11th eye, right? You're not in coin spinners yet at this point, right? Is that a yes? Are you
Uh-oh.
muted?
Yo, yeah.
I'm
there it
muted,
is.
yeah.
Okay, Sawyer nervously drops his lighter on the ground. You can tell that he's preparing himself for what he's going to be doing today. He doesn't know. It's a holiday, and he didn't think he was going to be working, but lo and behold, operating as what is essentially a grunt for a mafia-like organization. He never knows what any given day is gonna bring him. He reaches down to pick up his lighter, and he's shocked to hear a voice call out from behind him. "You boys ready?" And he turns around and his heart drops because he's looking right at Jackal, a Yuan Ti man who is known for his viciousness and his stupidity. Sawyer sighs as he realizes that he's in for a little bit more today than he had anticipated. And we sort of flash forward a little bit to a different scene as Sawyer and Salvo, who is the other orc standing with him, watch as Jackal, this Yuan Ti, reaches down. He picks up this old man who's sitting in this catwalk alleyway. He picks this old man up by his scruff and he says, "What do you think you're doing, old man?" And he says, "You're supposed to ask permission before you sell your crap in this neighborhood." And Jackal rears back with his fist and slugs this old man right in the face.
Oh.
And then reaches his fist back for another one and punches the old man again. And it's just too much for Sawyer to watch, so Sawyer turns away, once again fumbling in his pocket for his cigarettes and his lighter. But abruptly, standing next to him, he notices that Salvo is shocked as he sees something, and he catches his eye, and Sawyer has no choice but to turn around. And he sees that this old man and Jackal, this old man's gotten the best of Jackal somehow. And he's on top of Jackal, and he's strangling this. You see the scaly skin of this Jackal, these Yuan Ti, scaly flesh, as this old man's hands are wrapping around his neck, and his eyes are bulging almost out of his head, and he's staring, and he's reaching, trying to scratch at this old man's face. And all Sawyer can think is to save this man that he isn't even a huge of, and he rushes forward, and Sawyer shoulder charges into this old man and knocks him off of the side of Jackal. And Sawyer's heart is racing, and he's panting, and the adrenaline is filling him, and he barely even knows what to do. And the old man rolls on the ground, and you can see blood coming from his broken nose where he's been punched. And Sawyer hears Jackal rise from behind him, coughing. And Sawyer feels something pat on his back. And he turns, and Jackal has the blade of a knife held out towards Sawyer. And Jackal's coughing, and he says, "Kill that old bastard." And Sawyer looks up at him, and Sawyer says, and he thinks to himself, Sawyer, and you can see in his eyes that Sawyer doesn't want to do this. You know that from Sawyer's perspective, this is just an old man trying to sell some trinkets, trying to make some money on one of the catwalk neighborhoods that make up this towering desert chasm city. And you can see in Sawyer's face that this confidence is rising, that this man, Jackal, is an idiot. He's vicious and he's stupid. And he's probably not even supposed to be calling for a killing of an innocent man like this. But before Sawyer can do anything, another hand reaches in and takes the dagger blade from in front of him. And even worse than Sawyer's shock at Jackal asking him to kill this man, you see Sawyer looking at Salvo, as Salvo takes the dagger and walks towards the old man. And Sawyer stares at this half-orc, someone that Sawyer thought he knew. As Salvo reaches down and grabs the old man's hair and brings the blade down and kills the old man. Behind Sawyer, Jackal's coughing. Salvo begins to pass by Sawyer, and you can see Sawyer's eyes as he looks up, and you see shock in his eyes. And as this blood moon begins to fade over the ridge of the Chasm City. Sawyer looks down at this old man's face, and you see blood pooling behind this man. Sorry, I actually have a picture of the old man. I'm trying to pull it up. Uh-oh. Didn't work. I'll screenshot it. And as this old man's life fades from his eyes, and the blood pools around this old man, the back of this old man's head, the scene changes. And now we see this same old man sitting, staring off into nothing as he sits in a bar. And it's a familiar bar. And behind this old man, we see Ordovik, full armor, marching down the stairs. From the slit hole eye holes in his armor, you can see a slight yellow glow as Ordovik searches the room for Sawyer. And then Ordovik approaches the old man at the bar and puts one large hand down on the bar next to the old man. And that... And you can see in this old man, who is obviously Sawyer, you can see these eyes as Sawyer stares off into nothingness. A beer in one hand, and the memory of what he's done and the people that he's lost over his lifetime haunt him.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fucking
so
music's
it's
so
one,
good.
So it's one of those
Ordovik.
sessions. Got it.
You
Let's go.
find yourself in a slightly crowded bar. The, Uh-oh. There is a band that is gathered in the lamplighter.
That's amazing.
You find yourself standing next to this old man that you know to be your friend, Sawyer.
Fucking music is so juxtaposed. It's great.
I know, well, it's like, whatever, it's a band. My bad.
Oh, I actually can't hear any music right now. Ruh-roh.
Can you hear it at all? Could you hear the music for the scene?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh,
It's coming
fine.
through
That's fine.
Roll20.
Yeah, nah, it should be fine.
Refresh.
Oh, I see what happened. There we go. Yep. Okay, now we have it. It was on a different audio source. That's on me. I'll hear it in the recording, right? Yeah. Anyway. Sawyer. I know it is you. Are you going to just ignore me?
For the time being, you notice that this old man seems to be lost in his own thoughts as he stares forward into time and space.
It is a rather impressive disguise. Blends in with crowd here. But that is not important. I wish to express an apology. I did not mean to offend you. Again, I've seen you do incredible things with the item that you have. But as time has progressed, and as we have gotten more entrenched in whatever this growing mystery is, I fear that it might overwhelm you. Has that ever happened to you before? Another you materializing with bloodlust in his eyes?
No.
I thought not. Otherwise, I feel like you might have had more precautions. But if this device is now threatening your life, does it not stand to reason that it could threaten everybody else's?
There's another Sawyer that did it. And if he can do it, then I can do it.
I agree. I do agree with that. I worry if the one Sawyer that was able to accomplish what it is that you seek, I wonder if he has your noble intentions. Either way, as long as I am with you, regardless of what comes through that device, whatever comes through strange rips in the middle of a room, if you will have me, I will be there. You don't have to answer now. Think on it. However, while you think on it, I need you to utilize your legs. We have to meet Lola, and we have to meet Yamdo. I know it's inconvenient, but things are developing.
So you guys are gonna head out to the estate?
Yeah, Sawyer's gonna get up and just start walking out.
Sure. You guys find yourself, and it is now dark outside. You find yourselves on these strangely empty, dark streets. Most of, or of course, there's a fair amount of lighting here. You're only vaguely familiar with this large city. What do we do?
I'd imagine that the streets would be more busy at all hours.
It's late.
Is that what you hear from one of the guards walking by?
Let's go.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you,
A
John.
guard, two guards begin to march down the street carrying a torch towards you.
Beg pardon,
Yeah, hey there.
Watchman. Do you know the direction of the Harvey household, Harvey manor?
Harvey, I don't know any Harvey. And the other one says, I know them. I know the Harveys.
They have the library.
Yeah, oh, their libraries in a different spot than their manor is.
Yes, a manor. Wait, they have a manor?
Yeah, it's a right large spot to be honest.
Well, yes, if you could point me in that direction.
Oh, well, their manor's in the northern district of Oldgate. It's outside the walls. You can't miss it. Backs right up to the walls. Just look for the big old house with the iron rock gate.
When this conversation started, Sawyer is already walking in the direction of the manor.
Okay, sure.
I'm using locate object to look for one of Lola's pistols.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, you can kind of tell which direction it is. So Sawyer, as you start this conversation, Sawyer's just marching off.
Thank you for the assistance, gentlemen, and good night.
Very well. Be careful now. Take off.
Yes, you too.
So Sawyer and Ord together march down the dark street towards the Harvey estate, whereas the rest of us, as in the other two, oh my goodness, I just had it, find ourselves within the walls of the Harvey estate. We've just come in the front gate, and we are not the front gate, but the front door actually. And we are inside, and Lola, you know that just within these doors is... We're going to go ahead and go to the map, shall we?
Let's go.
I'm going to go ahead and put your characters down, so don't worry about that shit. I'm going to
Yes.
take care of that.
Thank you.
Can you guys see now that I put your characters down?
Nope.
No?
Oh, wait. Yes, all in the bottom.
Oh wait, I had to scroll.
Yeah, probably zoom out or something.
Hey, look at the content. Yeesham.
So, Lola, you enter into this estate that you're so familiar
Jeez.
with. The staircase, the double large staircase in front of you, heading up. Looks like I forgot to put some walls in. Maybe no, I don't know. This thing is like really.
Am I
walking
inside?
Yes.
Did I have to throw my
Like there's the
character
fountain
token
inside?
Ah, there's a fountain inside. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Lola, you know that it's only a matter of time before someone shows up, and you eye this room nervously, kind of, especially these two large statues on either side of the staircase, because you know that they're more than just statues. You are 100% confident that these two statues are actually gargoyles in disguise. As a matter of fact, it's two gargoyles who belong to your uh, chief of security, essentially, Muse, who is a female tiefling. Um, and ironically, she's actually an albino tiefling, so she's all white. But she has essentially been watching over the house for as long as you can remember, and you know for a fact that Rinse and Wash are the two names of her gargoyles, and that they disguise themselves as statues on either side of this staircase and watch the front door relentlessly.
Rinse and wash.
Yes.
I love it.
Nice. This
Other than that,
nice place, Lola. Not seen. And then Yemda walks over to the fountain, to this water. And is it fresh water, or does it look like it's fresh water?
that is fresh water, but the fountains in the you can probably see the fountain, can't you? It's
Oh, right there in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
right in
yeah.
the middle.
So Yemda walks by these statues of the gargoyles, and he
the statues are sorry, the gargoyles are by the staircase. They're over here, yeah.
Oh,
And Lily,
okay, sick.
as you step forward, you step forward with confidence, but you know that despite that they don't have eyeballs moving in their head, you know for a fact that these statues are watching you.
Hello, Rinse. Hello, wash.
Yemda looks around to see who the heck you're talking to. Huh? Rinse, wash.
Do you see the two statues, one at each staircase?
Yemda see, yes.
They are not actually statues. They are gargoyles in disguise, and they watch over my estate with the help of my tiefling guard Muse.
Gargoyle. What gargoyle?
You
I imagine you'll find out soon.
you hear abruptly footsteps directly above you. As directly above you, this is a large, tall room. The second floor has a balcony in this room, and you hear footsteps behind you. You both turn and look up, and you are kind of somewhat. I mean, Yamdo, you were definitely surprised to see this white tiefling woman with white hair and horns coming out of her head. But more surprising than anything is this black crow that she has on her shoulder and this gnarled-looking staff with a crystalline blue end that she has leaning over the railing and pointing down right at you guys.
Yamdo gets in front of Lola. He doesn't have his weapon with him, and he's kind of does like that, to like
Push her behind him or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he kind of like whispers to Lola and says, "Lola, you know this woman?"
Yes, that's Muse.
Oh,
The gargoyles belong to her.
oh.
Says,
Hello, Muse.
identify yourselves, you who know my name and the name of my companions. And she sort of starts to come, like she walked all the way around you and then ends up like north, and she sort of now is sort of almost standing on top of the stairs, still aiming the staff at you all.
Hasn't
What?
it really been that long? It's me. It's Lola.
She takes 2 steps down the stairs, but yet doesn't take the staff off of you. But abruptly you hear another voice. You hear this elderly voice, an elderly woman. Who do you dare to claim to be sneaking into this building in the middle of the night? You should know that... Oh, actually, you know what? Let me, sorry, before I go any further, let me go ahead and... This in the NPC list.
Let's go.
Muse. Sneaking into this fine estate in the middle of the night, and from the opposite side of the second floor, and a very familiar looking elderly woman. You recognize this as Hildy Woodcloak. Lola. She's aged significantly since you last saw her, but you can still see this stern image and this sort of power about her. This estate hasn't had vandals like you coming in here in quite some time. I am shocked to see that Muse hasn't already dispatched of you.
Hildy!
I can say with confidence that it is good to have a Harvey back in this building. And she smiles at you as she begins to come down the stairs.
Yeah, I
Holding
run
up-
and just grab and throw myself at her.
She gives you a great big hug back. And she says, "But truly, young Lola, what is the meaning of you being here?"
Oh, Hildy, it's...
"What is it, dear?" Come rest. You and your companion," and she gives Yamdo this sour look.
This is Yamdo.
Hello, my name.
He's been
Yamdo.
traveling with me for a while. He actually saved my life.
Yes, yes. And Yamdo, nice meet you. And he extends out a gloved hand to shake Hildy's hand. And he's looking
Yeah.
up. He's looking up at Muse, making sure he don't get blasted with that staff.
She reaches out a hand to like do the kiss her hand on the back of her hand thing.
I look over at Lola. I don't think I've ever had to kiss a hand before. 'Cause she's holding it out like this, right?
Yeah. Well, eventually she just draws it back before you can even do anything.
Yendo shakes it like,
Well,
nice
Miss
to meet
Harvey,
you."
I hope that you have enjoyed your romp with this individual, but surely we'll be finding you a more suitable suitor in due time. But for now, we must rest, my young girl. You look ever so weary.
Hildy, I'm... Dalbus has been killed.
She stops as she's halfway up the stairs, and she turns to face you. And she says, "What do you speak of?"
I went there today. I went there to find out some information about grandfather, and right when I saw him and I went up to the office and I heard some gunshots and I ran and they had killed him.
She
There were
studies you for a
these
long time.
horrible metal creatures, and I hid from them, and they stole some things from grandfather's den, and I was afraid they were going to come here next after me or after more things of grandfather's. So that's why I'm here. We need to be careful and make sure that we're protected.
She stares at you for a long time, and she says, a story so far-fetched. I wouldn't believe it were coming from any mouth but yours."
I know I sound just like him. I know, but you have to believe me.
She kind of squints her eyes as she stares at you for a second. She says, "Very well." And she looks over towards Muse, and she says, "Muse, please make sure that the boys keep an extra close eye on the building tonight."
Oh, there might be 2 other people coming though that are okay. A very large man in armor, and a half orc. They would probably be traveling together. If they come, they're with me, and they can come in.
"A half-orc," she says. Very well, then. Muse, no one else is to enter the estate this evening. Make sure of it. Lola, would you like your old room, or would you like one of the larger suites downstairs?
I don't know.
What are the
For
larger
now, I
suites
think
it
I
is,
just
then?
want to wait and see when if my friends come. I'm worried about them.
Very well. You may wait here. And if you excuse me, we must continue this conversation in the morning, as it is very late. And I am older than I once was, young lady. I shall be retiring, but I shall see you all at breakfast. How many people did you say there was?
There'll be 4 of us and a lion. So he'll be along shortly.
A lion? Well,
He's a spirit lion. I am not actually sure if he eats.
she puts her hand up and stops you from talking. She says, "I've heard enough nonsense out of your mouth tonight.
Good night.
Any more, and I'm afraid I'll have to turn you out of this estate. for being some sort of heretic or lunatic.
Heretic lunatic.
I love you too, Hildy. Good night.
Good night. And she turns
Lying.
and she steps back upstairs.
That was great. That was great. Oh my god.
Outside, we see back to Ordovik and Sawyer. As you guys find yourselves looking at this, you to your back is a large square, one of the larger squares of the town, actually. There is a large clock tower on the far side of this square, and you can tell that this is during the day. There's all these carts and things out here that have sort of been set up and broken down, wrapped up for the night. There's a stage in the center of the square, but in front of you, these large iron wrought gates, and over the gates is the word Harvey written. Harvey.
Are you
Yeah.
fucking serious?
I didn't realize she had. This is a big home.
That's like, this is a big place.
May as well take off that mask, because ain't nothing under there is more surprising than this shit. I look at Horde when I say
Damn.
I've also dropped the disguise when we left the bar. So we're sore.
Hell yeah, we love Sawyer.
It was a good jest, I swear. I suppose we go in.
How's it look? The lights are on. Anybody home?
Anybody home?
Are you guys just marching in?
How does it look?
It does look like, I mean, the gate is slightly ajar, which seems like it would be abnormal for this. You can see that there is, you can see some light moving within the doors.
She's
Please
definitely
what?
in there.
Oh,
After
then.
you.
Very well. And, before we go in, and he, as he's, like, taking that first step, he stops and then turns around to, like, just, like, turns to kind of look at her and he goes, I wouldn't want you to feel as if you have, had too much of your life exposed. With that being said, if you wish to inquire further about myself or speak privately, I believe that would only be fair.
Ooh, can we pause so I can get a drink for this?
Let's
on.
go. Let's go.
But we can.
Alright, lift that mask. Let us all see. And then Law never finds out.
Yo, there it is. Let's go. Sawyer. There it
He
is.
lifts the mask. he takes off his helmet, and what do you see but Sawyer?
Chuck Testa.
The content. There it is.
I'm back. Sorry.
Portal opens up. Oh, okay.
Portal.
Oh, no.
open.
The portal.
Oh no. Choo. Portal closes.
Did we lose Kyle's camera, or I don't know.
Ha!
Oh, I didn't have it plugged in.
Idiot.
I just got done rebuilding the living room from
Hmm.
the festivities over the weekend, so I figured
It's all
the
good.
camera
No
would have
stress.
to be lost.
It's alright.
Anyway, so Ward makes that statement and then turns back around and passes through the gate.
I thought he said if you have any questions for me.
Yeah,
For
don't.
later.
Oh, okay.
Let us resolve this
I
at
thought we were
hand,
gonna have a
and,
Sawyer Ward RP moment.
Later, once we have checked in, I would prefer not to keep the others waiting.
A sword RP moment.
Sword. There it is.
There it
So,
is.
There it is.
Lola, you and Yamdo are sitting on the steps as you wait. Actually, you wait maybe 30 minutes or so for these guys to walk across town. Lola, while you wait on this, is it carpeted, the staircase, or is it wood? I think it's just wood. I gotta
Looks
go
like
look at
wood to me.
You find yourself, without even realizing it, opening up your pack, and you have sort of spilled out the contents of these bits and pieces of trinkets and toys and mechanisms that you found in your father's estate. And Yamdo, you are watching her, I'm assuming with curiosity,
Yeah.
but you, Lola, without even realizing it, you find yourself just sort of sifting through these things as you remember moments of this house and your family and your grandfather. And then abruptly, there's a slight creaking noise as the door creeps open. And like the thing is like that thing where like the like one head pops out and the other head pops out like Ward's head pokes in and Sawyer's head like pokes in like underneath
There
it.
it is. There it is. I tap Lola. And I
And,
said, Lola, they're here.
and Lola, you hear just the most faintest. You hear a slight gr- grind of stone from the gargoyle to your left.
Oh shit! What the? Yendo looks
It's
over.
okay, Renz. They're with me.
Warden, Sawyer.
I'm probably within 120 feet, so I'm gonna cast a message.
Yeah, you're definitely within 120 feet of them. I mean, you can see them. Like you're walking
Oh,
into the
okay.
building.
Never
Here.
mind.
All right.
Oh, I can
I'll put
see
you
that
guys.
then. Yeah.
I'll put you guys on the map here.
Yes.
Sawyer.
Oh,
and
oh yeah.
Wow. Whoa.
How long have you had this?
Oh, man. This is a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Hey, yo, we got fountains, bro.
Yeah. Okay, Lola.
All right.
You find on this garnet carpet in front of you, you see a weary, sad, slightly angry Lola looking at you. Yamdo standing somewhat obliviously behind her. In front of as this carpet gently fountain gently trickles behind her.
I'm scared I might bleed on the carpet.
I guess you are still kind of bloody, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm at
You-
5 hit points.
Would you like me to clean you up some more?
Excuse me.
He doesn't look at you and he goes, "Be nice."
There it is. Land hands.
Just puts a hand on his shoulder and he's like, I've got you.
This bright light emits from underneath Ord's hand.
And as soon as he's done, as soon as the glow fades off of his hand, he raises that same hand to wave at Lola and Yemdo.
Or
Forrest Gump wave.
May we enter?
Of course, of course. Come on in.
How much hit points was that?
Oh, 5. That was you're back at 10.
there it is.
Halfway there.
So like, I guess because Ord's never been in a place that looks so extravagant, it's almost like he's tiptoeing. He's not sure if he's gonna break something or like what's made of what. So
What's wrong with you? Walk normal.
this is a level of extravagance I've never experienced. I don't want to damage anything,
You
but
are
I
pretty
suppose this is just carpet. And he like steps on it like 3 times. He was like,
I don't know. You could probably knock over one of these things, and Sora's gonna approach one of the gargoyles.
The gargoyles, those are statues, but the gargoyles are actually by the
Right,
staircase
the
at the back. Yeah.
well, Ms. Harvey, this is quite the impressive home that you have here.
That's what Yemdo said.
It was my grandfather's.
Which, by extension, is... I assume this is your childhood home? Or is this just a place that your grandfather once had?
This is where he lived until he disappeared. This is where I visited him and spent lots of summers and time, but I did not grow up here.
Oh.
I grew up with my parents and siblings in Priley after my father decided it was best to leave the city. But no, I spent a lot of time here with my grandfather. But
Understand.
my father did grow up here.
What do you mean by disappeared? We don't know about that, right? Because I know we've been getting a lot of backstory. But I
You
don't
knew
think
he
like
was
the
an
group knows
adventurer.
it.
I'm not sure that we ever discussed that he disappeared, did we? I guess you did say that you were looking for him. That's why you explained that's why you went north because you were looking for him because he disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I inherited this estate because the government of Prince has declared my grandfather as deceased. I don't believe that, so as far as I'm concerned, this is still his home.
Ord nods his head.
That's why you didn't want us to come here.
Um, it's not so much that I didn't want you guys to come here. I didn't want to come here. Um, yes, our family has a very nice home and a library, but unfortunately, our family reputation has dimmed in the most recent years. To the point, like I said, that my father felt the need to take his family and leave the city. There are some people who began to think pretty ill of my grandfather at the end, and um, yeah, we still have our money, but maybe not so much our reputation. That is one of the things I have vowed to try to reclaim my grandfather, but also prove that he wasn't crazy like they all believed, and that he was an amazing adventurer, and our family deserves to have a library and an estate of this magnitude.
Well, based upon the numerous visions that we have received, I believe that in time you'll be able to do just that. However, quickly, have there been any disturbances here? Have your assailants made it here?
No. I have my security keeping watch. You are the only two that will be allowed in. But no, they had not seen or heard of anything before I arrived.
Ord
does-
looks around like, what? Security? Where?
Yeah, how does the estate look? Like, is it like no one lives here, or is it actually still looks really nice?
It looks nice, but like if you were to take a good hard look, you'd see like dust on stuff. Like maybe the direct like path of walking. Like there's like I said, the thing is that she's got a skeleton crew here. Because you don't need that many because there's no one living here but these 4 workers. Um so perhaps like there's
I
a
would
coat room
imagine
on
some of the rooms may have like I see on those British shows. Like some of the unused bedrooms may have like tarps over the furniture and things like
yes.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
There it
them
is. Hell yeah.
clean when they're not used, that kind of thing.
Yes. Exactly.
Anyway,
maybe not from where you are now. I'm not sure if I think that hopefully the dynamic lighting. Can you see past the walls?
just a little into the one left room and right room.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, the
Yeah,
left room is the main.
imagine-
You can maybe see into the main dining room, and the right room is a bit of an armory, actually. So, but maybe the if you can see in the armory, you can definitely see dust in the armory. Like very little has been touched in there.
Yeah, I would imagine this first room would be kept pretty clean just because people may knock and come calling and they would want the first room to be clean. I apologize that this is the circumstances in which I would be introducing you to my home. I honestly don't really plan to come back here without my grandfather, and that is why I didn't mention it, because it was not part of my plan.
There's like an awkward silence, and then Sora
Yep.
goes, "You said there's a library?"
Well, we own a family library in town.
There is a
It's
small library in this
several
building as well.
stories, but yes, of course, we do have a personal library as well. We also have plenty of rooms. I believe that they were making arrangements before Hildy went to bed to get them ready for the four of us. So if you're ready to go lay down, you can, or I'm not sure that I'm up for any kind of a full tour tonight.
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
but if we want to talk more about what's gone on tonight, we can. Otherwise, if you guys would like to retire, I wouldn't blame you as well.
This may be here. And Ord approaches and leans in to whisper to Lola, "Would you like me to return to the library to fetch Dalvis's body?" Can't
I
imagine
don't
you'd
know.
wish to leave him there.
I don't know if anybody's called the authorities or anything yet. Actually, I don't know what's happened since I left.
You locked the
If you
door
could look
behind you,
into it and
but I will
see if
go.
he's still there, but honestly, I don't even know if he's still there.
I will go and check, and I will return.
Thank you, Ord.
Gentlemen,
Going
you-
tonight?
Yes.
Okay. So you say goodbye to the rest of the team?
Yes, gentlemen, for now. I'll return in a moment. I have a thing to attend to.
Be
And that's
careful.
it. Takes off.
out
No
there.
question. Before you go, I will recommend getting the key from Lola.
Here's a key.
Ah, very good. Otherwise, I would have had to. Otherwise, I would have had to kick in the door, and that might have been. Not good.
There
Thank
it
you.
is.
Yes,
And
I'll take the
please
key.
be careful.
You could
Of course. I could not. Yes.
So we are not going to play that out super great. You do make it to the library. To some degree, you have a little bit of experience about where it is, but you do run a little bit of risk of getting lost. You make it to the library with no trouble. You get the door open, and inside you find right where you left it, the body of Dalvis lying on the floor.
And Ord very cautiously enters, looks around. I imagine. I guess perception check.
Roll it.
Like-
Or investigation. What are you looking for?
Perception just to make sure that there's not anybody else here outside of
Yeah.
the body.
Go ahead.
Hey.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, there is no one else here.
Very good, very good. And out of respect for Lola, Ord will not rummage through books. He will gingerly pick up the fallen body of Dalvis, cover it in cloth, his blanket, and begin the process of heading back to the Harvey estate quickly, but not in a way that would jostle the body in any way.
Sure. You get about
Yes.
halfway back to the estate, and you hear a voice. Hey there! And you turn, and there is a patrol. There are 2 guards
Yes.
standing. They're raising a torch and looking at you. They say, "What's that you've got there, carrying through the night so late?"
Something very dear to a friend of mine.
Very dear to a friend of yours. It's a coincidentally quite the right size to be a body in that.
Because it is.
Oh,
Her grandfather, I believe, has suffered some sort of grievous injury. I am returning the body to her now.
roll persuasion.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Wow!
And you see them
Wow!
They step forward. Both of them have hands on rapiers at their side. But the one who's got a torch raise, he takes another step closer to you and raises his torch up. And he kind of squints as he looks at you. And he brings his torch down and he says, "Well, you don't look like the troublemaking sort, so why don't you go on and take care of your business?"
Thank you,
But
gentlemen.
remember, there's more professional ways to handle such a situation next time.
Of
Now go
course.
on.
And
Get out of here.
for your information, perhaps to take to your captain, I believe there was a attack at the Harvey Library. This gentleman here, and he pulls back the cloth to show Dalvis's face, like respectfully, obviously. This gentleman was slain by an unknown assailant.
They both sort of recoil. Oh, God! Yep, all right. We'll report the body immediately.
Very good.
And,
Be at ease and have a good night, gentlemen.
Anyone back at the estate having any conversations while Ord is gone?
Yamdo.
We are all standing here, so I'd like to see exactly how that goes.
Yamdo goes up to Lola and having listened of how the city wants to seize her grandfather's estate.
Are we out of curiosity? Are we like, how is our positioning here? Is like, are we keeping range of
pictured
each
exactly like it looks on the map.
Yeah.
Fucking love it. Like
It is
I
chilling-
almost see
chilling in the
like
foyer.
Lola is like
Sawyer.
standing there, like she's practically blocking Sawyer's way in.
And Yamdo goes up to Lola and says, Lola, if grandfather and father raise you into lady you are, then Yamdo know that they not bad, they good people. So why would city want take this estate?
That is very sweet, Yamdo. But you've seen the visions, right?
Yes, it not make sense. These
Exactly. The stuff that my grandfather was researching, the things he found, they don't make sense to most people. And when things don't make sense to people, often they just refuse to believe. And in the case of my grandfather, they just decided that he was crazy.
Was he?
You've seen the visions.
That's a good point.
I mean, maybe the things he found made him crazy. I don't know, but the things he talked about were real. I saw the metal men myself tonight. But how do you explain to a world that's never heard of such a thing that metal men exist?
yes, it Yamdo see, because because how to explain me from far land in jungle with tribal markings, how explain that to this city?
The only difference is they can see you. All my grandfather had were drawings, and they just thought it was the markings of a madman.
Still got the drawings.
Well, I have a lot of things, but unfortunately I do not have his journal. They took that. That was the only thing they took. It was like they knew it existed and they were going straight for it. And unfortunately, he had made a point of saying that he wanted me to get the journal because that's where I was going to find clues. And they took it.
Well, we will get back journal.
I don't know, Yamdo. They were powerful.
Then we be more powerful.
Who? You and me? Because last time I looked, other people ran away.
Yamdo, when you say other people ran away, are you looking at Sawyer?
Dude.
Yes.
Okay.
Just I can imagine Lola's look is like venomous.
Yamdo.
Yeah, Lola's been holding it in since the moment he walked in, and this was her first chance to let it out.
Oh my God,
Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh my God, Yamdo.
And Ord's not there to protect him.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Yamdo, when you say that, Yamdo looks over at Sawyer. Does Sawyer have anything to say? In response to the other people, some people ran away. That was good.
He's just inspecting the statue. He's not paying Lola any mind.
How
I
about
see.
in that awkward moment, Ord steps back in. And Ord, you enter into a room and there's like a dead silence in here, and you see Yamdo is just like looking between Sawyer and Lola is just venomous stare at Sawyer, and Sawyer is like flicking dust off the statue in front of you. Like almost literally like he's
Or
obviously-
Nonchalant.
and Sawyer is obviously not normally interested in statues and how clean they are.
Ord is not going to make any assumptions. He absorbs this information, and then realizing what is more important to him in the immediate moment, just doesn't say anything and just walks to Lola with the wrapped body of Dalphus, and just tries to meet her eyes as best as he can. Obviously, the slits are heavily covered in shadow.
So I don't take my eyes off of Sawyer. And I see Ord approach and I say, if you could be so kind as to take the body up to the first room on the left, I believe Muse will take it from there.
As you wish.
Upstairs,
Thank
first
you,
room on the
Ord.
left, is that fine? Just wherever?
I don't know. I was just making it up.
Yeah, fine. So, absolutely perfect. I mean, well done. Thank you. So yeah, you are met shockingly by this pale white albino tiefling who gingerly takes this body and nods at you silently and turns away, taking the body with it.
And as soon as that's done, Ord steps down till
He
he's
runs
about
away.
to
No.
foot of the stairs, and he goes,
So,
"Is anybody going to say anything?"
Sawyer says, "Need a cigarette," and he walks out.
Walks out
As
into the
is
darkness.
his MO these days. Just run away again.
Lola, he's not running, he's contemplating. I will go and get him again.
Yamdo sees this very this new side to the whole time Yamdo's been kind of just observing this. He's he doesn't really speak much unless it's to animals or unless it's to like tiny men that get themselves trapped in sewers. But shout out to Mr. Rigby.
Mr. Rigby.
But
See him again.
there we go. But before Sawyer, or I guess like as Sawyer is walking out, so that Sawyer can also hear this. I don't know, maybe Sawyer will stop. But Yamdo sees this side of Lola, and he agrees with her. Because that's we're besties, man. I saved you from baboons. But he sees this and he says, Lola, Sawyer, not bad. Ord is very good. Maybe not be mad. Sawyer likes to hide. Smart man he is. Maybe past Sawyer bad, but now Sawyer good. People change over time. See good in life. Yamdo think Sawyer change.
Ah, jeez. Come on, Yamdo. Okay, no. So, killer. So Lola had not taken her eyes away from where Sawyer started to storm out again. And she's listening to Yamdo, but she's not looking at him until he's getting towards the end, and then she's slowly turns and looks at him and says, "You see good in him. I remember the first time we met. I didn't think much of him then, but you seem to see something in him, which is the only reason I was willing to give him a chance, because for some reason, even way back then, you sensed something in him that I didn't see at the time.
Yes.
You still think he's good, even though he keeps leaving us. How can we depend on him if he leaves us?"
Maybe separate by ourselves. We have fear, but let me see. Is Sawyer? Oh, wait. Where's Ord at right
Sawyer's definitely walked out.
now? Okay, Sawyer's out. Where's Ord
Yeah,
at? Where's
I was
Ord
actually
at?
about to ask that. I'm like, am I at the door or am I outside?
Where's Ord at?
This is. I'm gonna let Law decide here. Am I outside or am I inside?
let's do this. Let's say that Yamdo, you think about what Yamdo's gonna say in response, and
Yeah.
we'll go outside to Sawyer and Ward.
Hell yeah.
Or stand outside.
I'm
Like
outside.
literally, it's like cold air cigarette moment. You know, it's like awkwardness, like escape.
I like to think he's like trying to light it as Ord is coming out, and you can see he's like struggling with it, and he's like he's about to lose it.
Ord cups his hand to give him that shade to light a cigarette.
Yeah.
Jeez, Ord, come on.
There it is.
You and Yamdo are killing me.
Yeah.
Oh, you are too good.
All right, let's go.
My
Okay.
God.
Okay. So, whose turn is whose
No,
turn?
no. Is that all? No conversation.
No,
Think-
Sawyer's gonna light the cigarette with Ord's
She's
help.
she's just grieving.
She's fucking psychotic.
Oh!
Oh my gosh, she wasn't here to
Brogine,
hear that.
I love you. This is just our I swear to God.
Honestly, it's our
Sawyer,
best
Sawyer.
RP I've ever heard.
Let's go.
Every single person here, by definition, would be psychotic. You're carrying around a device that warps time and space, and you're acting like it's a mere bracelet. Yamdo jumps off of anything that is higher than 2 stories and has a celestial lion that he walks around with and speaks to as I'm speaking to you. And Lola Harvey, I do not know the beginning or the depth of whatever rumors seem to orbit around her family name. But I do distinctly recall her extreme desire to abandon ruins, to explore places that probably don't need to be explored. I need not remind you of how I died the first time. We are all driven by things. I suppose the better way to say it is a matter of perspective. She is hurt. She's wounded. She's lost somebody dear to her. We almost lost you today. I'm not asking you to... I'm not asking you to change who you are. But as I'm going to try to convince her to see things from your perspective, please do the same for her.
We have a few years to figure out what the fuck happens and how to stop it.
Yes.
Take it from me. We don't want to waste any time.
Tomorrow, I am going to do everything within my power to go and deliver my message to the king. And when that duty is done, we will get to the bottom of this. The undead will be ever present. But I have seen that you have a knack for changing the outcomes of things.
Yeah.
I have faith that through whatever ingenious means you seem to create, we will have time to figure this out.
I hope you're right.
You
come on, come on.
both.
There it is. There it is.
What? What do we see?
Nothing.
Or Sawyer, any more conversation about Lola?
I think we're good.
Okay, so you're staying outside then?
Yeah, we'll chill
Okay.
outside.
So, if I go back inside, will you vanish again?
I'll be here.
I will hold you to it, my friend.
Security around here sucks.
I too have not
So-
seen. I have not seen security either. I'm not sure if. I'll address it with her inside, but I will give you your privacy for now. Please don't go too far.
And he goes back inside.
There it is. While Ordovik and Sawyer were having their conversation, can Yamdo Khan and Lola wrap up
Do it.
the whole where she asked them, you really think he's
Yeah,
good?
of course.
Okay, so Yamdo says, you know, you've seen my home. Yamdo miss home, but this remind Yamdo of story passed down from generation to generation. When we, my tribe, the tribe's tribe, the elders, when we first started building, it was not big, massive city of gold that you saw when I took you there. Humble beginnings. And sometimes to build big pyramids and ziggurats and temples. Sometimes there were little tiny rocks that didn't fit in place, but we still put them there because no matter whether big block of gold or tiny block of gold, but gold nonetheless, every piece had its place. And that kind of like how this is going on. You see, Sawyer, he, yes, runs away. And Yamdo not know why. And Yamdo see bad Sawyer. But no matter what, we are not only metaphor, but maybe like pyramid, where Ord is foundation, and then you have Sawyer and Yamdo on top of Ord, lifting us up as we lift you to the top so that we can find grandfather and journal. But together, we are massive as one.
I reach up and I put my hand on Yamdo's cheek and I just look at him for a minute. I say, "Thank you, my friend.
Yes.
You always seem to know how to help me get my mind right."
Yes.
And then I just silently I just walk past Yamdo and head towards the door. I don't know if Ordic's going to try to stop me or not, but
Yeah,
that's
you,
where
like,
I'm going.
You almost like run into him, or do you come in as
The
Lola's
door
approaching?
opens, yeah, probably like as you're getting ready to go out.
Excuse me, Ordovic.
Of course, Miss Harvey.
You let her out outside with Sawyer? Yes? Is that what we're doing?
She's a grown woman.
That's where I'm going.
She can handle herself.
Ordovik, come. Ordovik, come.
So you find
So-
yourself outside
Yes,
in
yes,
the
yes,
cold
yes,
air. You look up, Sawyer. You hear, and you don't have to look at her. You know it's her. Bully, you don't have to
Oh,
look at
yeah.
him. You can see the burning cigarette at the side of your mouth.
I know
Sawyer,
where she is for the next hour because of locate object.
yeah. you take a breath, Sawyer. You inhale the smoke from your cigarette. You put your cigarette down. You look up and you blow smoke into the air. And above you, the clouds clear away, and you realize, looking up, right now, it's fourth moon. It's the fourth full moon of the year. And in Esdrig right now, they're seeing a blood moon in between the tall cliffs of the city beside them.
That's so good.
Let's go.
You gonna let me have a hit on that?
Whoa! Wow.
Grass doesn't even know what to do, dude.
Whew. Sawyer's just staring at the moon, and then you just see cigarette slowly floats over. Using mage hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, forgot to push the button. Sorry. Lola takes the cigarette from the air, floating, and takes a deep draw and just slowly lets it out.
Sawyer, as you look up, you can't help but recall the hello. Sorry, you can't help but recall the I'm getting up.
I looked over and you're fucking
You look over, or you don't look over. You look up at the moon, and all you can recall is that old man dying in the alleyway, and the team that you had back then, and how that moment ruined that team. And I'm gonna sprint and get a drink. I'm gonna have to listen to this conversation on the recording tomorrow.
And then suddenly a portal opens,
Oh shit.
and out
You
comes
really
the
wanted this.
fortune.
Shut up. We're gonna do it. Or should we wait for long? Let's wait for long. It's the portal was.
Who's in the portal?
There it is.
That came quick.
Let's
I know I
go.
was running. Anyway, yes, did we get anywhere?
No, we waited.
Okay,
Okay, great. Oh, you guys! Thank God I didn't go to pee. Anyway, yes.
You really want to destroy this fucking thing? You know what's coming.
I know. And I also grew up with a man who had a lot of devices as well. I have some myself. But we both saw it called a horror, Sawyer. It almost killed you. How can that not scare you?
Everything fucking scares me.
Hmm.
But there's an older version of me out there who figured it out, and he looks like he could take on a fucking army.
Is he alone?
His chronograph was like a monolith.
Was he alone when you saw him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I saw
Oh.
a vision where we were all still together and we got decimated.
And that's why we need to figure this out. You think you think our chances are better if I don't have the chronograph? I can comprehend any language. I can shoot bullets. I can freeze people in time. There's
You can
plenty
only do
more
those things,
shit I
Sawyer.
can learn.
But you can only do those things. Well, they're only useful to us if you're with us. I see what's coming.
What makes you
We
think
can't
I'm not
stand
with
against
you?
this alone. You run away every time there's a conflict. You have to have our backs. Look, Sawyer. I know. I feel like we met yesterday at a bar when I pickpocketed you. And yet somehow the end of the world is coming and we have to rely on each other and we don't know each other. But we have to, and we have to trust each other. And I know that you come from a place where the rules are different. I get that. But where I come from, you stand together. You don't run away when things get tough. I need to know if we're facing a flippin' army of demons or zombies or whatever the thing that whispers to us is, that you will be there.
And then what? And then what, Sawyer? The rebuttal.
I know I get hot-tempered. It's just kind of who I am, and I imagine you probably have a temper too when you're not, being moody.
Not to mention the death of a family member. Kind of.
But you can't let that make you run away. People are not always going to be nice. And I need to know that even if things turn south, you're still going to be there. Or if not, then say so now and move on and let us try to figure out how to save the world.
Damn. Let's go, Lola. Let's go.
But I hope that's not what you choose. Because despite the fact that, golly, gibberty, insert bad words, gibberty, you gibberty make my blood boil sometimes. I just think that if we could figure out how to harness our skills together, I think, man, the two of us could be unstoppable.
You remind me so much of Tell.
Who?
Who's Tell?
Who? Who the fuck is Tell?
Sorry, I'm looking at Law.
If you're looking at me, I am frantically pulling up my character sheet thing. I'm like pulling up my spreadsheet. I'm like, I gotta start typing things in. Tell, T-E-L?
T-E-L.
I got my notes going.
He's helped me a lot.
He's helped
What
you a
about me
lot?
reminds you of him?
Did you say he's helped you a lot?
Yeah. Alright. No more running.
Are you in? Are you all in? Look at me. Look at me in the eye. Can we count on you? Can I count on you?
You protect me. I'll protect you.
Suddenly,
That's
both of you hear something.
My pistols are out.
A crash and a crunch in the distance. Outside here.
You see,
But
Lola,
close enough.
when you pull the pistol out, so Sawyer does the same thing. With magic missile.
You're like back-to-pack finger guns?
That's what I was figuring. Back
No,
to
no, no.
that, yeah.
I'm updating. This is magic missile 2.0. Because Sawyer pulls out a like a construct made out of energy from the gauntlet, and it looks like one of Lola's pistols.
Ooh, cute.
Ooh.
Yeah, you all hear something, and it's close. And if it's something coming for you, it can hear you too. And you've been talking, so you know you're given away.
Hey, who's
For
that?
a second, you sweat and you think about if you've got time to go for the door or not, because whatever this was, it was close. And then from behind a building, you see something kind of strange, and an eerie glow is coming your way down an alleyway nearby. It's coming straight for the front of the gate, the front gates of the tavern, or the estate. You both can sense each other sweating sort of at your backs. Maybe looking down the arm of your length, down the sights of your pistols. You glance at each other. Your eyes meet each other. What thoughts do you have?
Send a message to the others.
But it's too late,
What?
as striding around the corner, glowing an ominous blue color, this moment of night ends as this majestic starry lion emerges from beside this building and walks through the front gates. Both of you find yourselves frozen as this lion stops, and with two eyes that seem to each contain a galaxy within them,
Oh, beautifully
turn and
written.
stare up at you.
Oh, Leonidas, you scared me to death.
The gun just like dissipates.
Leonidas almost seems to look one of you in the eyes and then the other, and he gives you the faintest detection of a nod, and he walks past you
He just walks
inside.
Let's go! Let's fucking go, baby!
so good.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just a super touching moment, and then this fucking lion
Hell
just
yeah.
walks
A
by.
great moment. You two find yourselves looking right at each other, standing
I just
outside
start
this now
laughing.
ajar door. Perfect, dude. Yes,
What?
this terrifying moment of intensity where you both found that you had each other's backs in the end after all.
Ooh! Let's go.
Do you say anything to each other?
So I laugh a little and chuckle, because that's how you diffuse those kind of moments. And then I kind of take a sigh and I look at him and say, this doesn't mean I'm still not going to ever pickpocket you again or anything.
Ah!
I'm gonna toss her my lighter.
Oh.
Wait. Wait, Sawyer does have a lighter?
Yeah.
Bro,
Well, I
wait.
think I pickpocketed it and gave it back at
Oh
one point,
shit.
right?
Yo,
Yeah.
the tinderbox, hell yeah.
Tinderbox. I mean, we're reflavoring it. Right?
Yeah, lighter.
Hell
whatever,
yeah.
screw it.
Biz.
Yeah, so
You do
I...
anything else? Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, okay.
Nope,
you,
nope.
you, like, you throw it to me, I catch it, and I'm like... I just kind of give you a knowing smile, like, all right, we got ways to go to get to know each other, but all right.
Great. Cool.
What'd I
Let's
miss?
Walk inside. Nothing. You didn't miss anything.
Yeah,
Good.
so we walk inside. Wait, psst. Should
So-
we pretend like one of us stabbed the other one?
Oh,
Ah! Let's go.
Funny.
Just kidding.
Little Sawyer walks inside. You find yourself outside, in this darkness, which suddenly feels a little more reassuring. You suddenly feel more comfortable, and you suddenly feel safer with the rest of your team sort of put back together. And you look down, and this lighter that you're holding in the hand, you can see engraved on the bottom of it the name Tell written there.
I just kind of rub my thumb over it and just kind of put it up to my chest and then put it down in my bag.
And Lola comes back inside. Yamdo and Ord, you two, who knows what the hell you guys are doing in here?
Well, yeah. So,
I hear a boss
They've
Ord
been,
is
at,
like-
they've been at the fucking door listening the whole
Yo,
fucking
right?
time.
You see Ord in there like, no. See, I've thrown the rock, and you've thrown the scissors. So I beat you.
What?
You should have done paper.
but how paper beat rock?
Because-
Exactly.
Anyway,
Because
Ord and
the-
Yamdo, you
they
guys look
treat
up
the
as
paper like a oh yes.
you see smiling Sawyer walk in, and shortly Lola coming in behind them. They seem to have an air of weight lifted off of their chest.
Ah, wonderful. One of you is not in need of healing. Good.
Ah, there it is, the content, baby. What?
I don't know about that. I could sleep for a while.
Well,
I
neither
think
of
we
you
could
is
all
bleeding.
use some rest.
profusely.
So, Lola, you know the estate pretty well. There are guest bedrooms downstairs, and the master bedroom is located on the second floor. Are you going to be using the master bedroom, or is everyone going to have guest
Well,
bedrooms?
how many bedrooms are there?
How many bedrooms are there in the estate?
How many people
Like,
up there to be?
let me just rephrase that. Are there enough for us to all sleep in one that is not the master?
Yes.
Then I do not want to
Yes,
sleep
there
in the
is.
master because that is still my grandfather's room.
Yeah. I would say there's probably, and I'm literally going through the map right now. I think I counted 20 bedrooms.
Okay, yeah. So no, I'm not staying in the master
Are you staying on
because,
the
like
first
she
floor?
said before, she still considers this her grandfather's house. So.
So if you were to go through this hallway to your either hallway circles around like behind this wall you're looking at, and so you go out this left hallway, you go to your right, and then you would be in like you would see like I'm gonna draw a line on the map, make it much easier because like fuck it. If you were to go do this way and through this hallway, you would be in this hall. Like if you were to follow the yellow line, you would be in a. Oh please tell me, did I draw that? You can see it. I hope so. Yeah, yeah. You would
Oh,
end up
gee,
being.
this place is bigger than I thought.
It is a very large estate, I promise you that. Yes, so everyone, you follow Lola as you march back, and you find that Lola, that hallway. Oh, that's the sitting room there, Lola.
Yeah,
That
I
you're
want
in.
to just stay here. Sorry.
We love it. We love it.
You note that all the instruments in the sitting room have got dust on them. Lola, that hallway that you're in now is the bedroom. So we don't really. I mean, unless people want to pick out their bedrooms that are going to be permanent bedrooms for a little while, that's fine.
Hey. Doo-doo-doo.
We got a yellow bed, a blue bed.
And doop.
I see
Green
everyone's
bed.
moving like these little tokens are just crawling along the screen.
Purple bed.
Just watching ants crawl through
just-
an ant farm.
Doop.
Creep, creep.
Doop. And are all of the beds on the first floor? Are there any guest rooms on the second or third floor?
There are guest rooms on the second. There is even some guest rooms on the third floor. There are no bedrooms on the fourth floor.
Yemdo would like a guest room on the third floor. And there's 4 floors, you say?
Yes.
Okay, Yemdo would like the...
He wants to sleep on the roof.
But the
That's
fourth
what
floor.
that's what I'm
actually,
getting at. That's what I'm getting
There
at.
is a alchemist like sort of quarters on the fourth floor, but there's also like a small roof courtyard that has
Oh,
a tree and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's where Yando's going to stay.
And there actually looks like it.
Tree, you say?
There's like a cell on the fourth floor. Now that I look at it, it doesn't seem to have a door. I wonder if that was an oversight for whoever created this map.
Okay. Yemdo.
He's going to stay in the courtyard.
Okay, Yemdo is going to...
You don't know where you are, too, so don't
Yeah,
just...
no. I don't know where I'm at. I gotta see this tree first. Where's this tree? Where I'm at right now. Am I able to see this tree in the courtyard?
You are on the... No, God, no. The courtyard, it's a rooftop courtyard.
Wait,
So it's on the fourth floor.
it's a rooftop courtyard. It's a courtyard on the roof?
Yes. There's the one that I was talking about. There's like a garden out back. But
Hell yeah. Well,
for some reason, I'm struggling to load the map that you're on currently for some reason. So
Yemdo's
Oh, well.
just exploring the halls, just looking and, just admiring. He's like, wow, man, like, Lola's family, like, my
roll an
family.
intelligence check for me.
I would love to. I don't want to get lost in these halls.
Oh, you may get lost.
Oh no! Here we go. Let's go. Intelligence. Oh no, my weakness. All right, just straight intelligence. Let's go.
Yeah, Yando, you find yourself. You go up a staircase. You go down a staircase.
Hello.
Suddenly, you find yourself
Hello.
very lost.
Hello. Yemdo lost.
You do manage to somehow discover. You find a room that has 4 beds in it and a table in the center of the room with 4 chairs around it. It's like almost a common quarters room.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm gonna.
You continue. I mean, you could continue to search around if you'd like, but
Yeah. Yeah, I'll continue to search around. This is
roll
massive
me an
building.
investigation check.
Let's go. Yemdo roll investigation. Let's go. Come on. We already got the natural one out of the way, so clearly this one can't be that bad. Investigation.
The best you can do is that you've lost track of the staircase at this point. You happen to find yourself in some sort of like training area. There is targets and some old barrels that you see, even an old bow in one of these barrels. The string long since have given away. You can see that these old targets have knocks in them where they would have been shot at. And a room nearby, you find multiple like cloth cots and tables, but the tables are now bare.
Wow.
The cots seem pretty bare as well. But this is the best that you're able to do at this point.
Yeah.
Any further investigation, you might find yourself completely lost within this manor.
Yeah.
Forever. You just
Forever, yo.
He dies lost in the manor.
I'm lost. Yeah, I'm just, you know what? I see the targets. I can probably, like, mess around with those in the morning before I try to find my way downstairs. So, yeah, we'll just chill out in the cots, Leonidas and I, if Leonidas is with me. I definitely would have greeted him as soon as he walked into the door.
Leonidas is definitely with you.
Actually, real quick, let me go ahead. I'm gonna cast speak with animals real quick. I gotta have a few words with Leonidas. As we're chilling in the cots before we retire. Leonidas, my friend, it's good to see you. Did you find these assailants that were made of metal and smelled like oil?
And he says, I found the falsities of men. They made their way out of the city, through the tall grass, towards the north.
Out of the city, through the tall grass, through the north. I will relay this information in the morning to the others. Anything else that you saw on your travels?
No, my friend.
Very well. Then let us retire. These are some nice, decent beds. Nothing like home. but much would prefer the trees, but this will do.
You went from like the nice beds in the guest room downstairs to like medium beds in the fucking guest, like the 4-bed like common bedroom, and then to like the cots now.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. It's okay. It's no tree branch, but it's okay, my friend.
And everyone is gonna be taking a little nap.
Nap.
Going to sleep finally. Oh, no! Is someone having a conversation? Are we doing more?
Oh, I mean, Ord's kind of just walking around, but if everybody's going to retire, then I don't know. Ord's kind of at the precipice of the armory. He's just kind of looking in. I don't know if those doors are locked or not.
They're not. Mostly just standard equipment, but vast rows of short swords and maces. Some relatively plain-looking chainmail armor on shelves to the north.
What are the things that look like babies in swaddling clothes?
Where? Can you ping them? That's armor sitting on the shelves.
It looks like a baby laying in like a blanket.
A little baby in a papoose. A papoose.
Yes.
I'm gonna assume that this area over here is a library.
It is a library, actually. Yeah. Can you see it?
Oh, I already ran into it.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, like Ord looks at the display of weapons, and you would think that for somebody like him, he'd be like, "Oh yes, this is the room. This is the room." But he turns away from it and goes to what, assuming that this door is fully open, and like he's like, "All right, yeah, cool, the library." He goes into the library instead.
Okay. And are we staying up all night? What are we doing?
Yes. As soon as he gets into the library, he looks around, and seeing that nobody's in the room, he withdraws his gold locket. And staring at the SW engraved into it, he also withdraws the Black Brook tapestry. And he looks at every single one of those books that are just currently on the shelves. There's an audible exhale, and his whole body shivers as he begins the process of slowly looking for information through each one.
Overnight.
Yep.
Roll a investigation check, and let's take a 5-minute break so I can go to the bathroom because I have been holding it for all the great RP. I'll be right back.
I gotta pee. And then suddenly,
Unless Sawyer wants to have that chat.
yo,
Oh shit, I was muted.
Docs.
What chat?
I think Sawyer needs to rest up and get healed.
Yeah,
That's true.
Sawyer's been bloodied this entire time.
No.
one's
That's
cared.
very fair.
No, get that man some help. Get that man some help.
You gave that man 10 HP.
Yo, give him 10 more.
Yeah, fucking stingy.
There it
You may
is.
only got 25 you can give out right now.
Yeah, well I got 25 health and I died.
Yikes. Okay, you
Being
got
a
me there.
wizard is hard, guys.
You got me there. Nah,
It's
or
so
did,
funny because you're nothing like a wizard, so I kind of forget that you're squishy. You seem
Yeah.
Oh,
like a
he's
tough
so
guy.
squishy.
But yeah, Ord did offer Sawyer. He's like, look, I know you've had a whole lot about you just thrown out, and like I understand how that can feel exposing. So if you want to talk, and if you want to ask me things, I will allow you to do that. But then he
Yeah,
said later.
What?
Oh, I was just re-explaining Ord's offer to Sawyer
Ward's offer to Sawyer?
to have like a full conversation about
Oh my
him.
goodness. Sawyer. Oh yeah.
But
go
he's
for it,
asleep.
dude.
Nah, gonna have to wait 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Gonna have to save it for next session.
You gonna save it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal, dude.
Sawyer's
Sawyer's
got things
beat
to
up.
contemplate. Yeah, I got my ass beat.
Yeah.
We've done enough
No.
feeling today.
He's sleepy.
How did we do? Is everyone here, Rosine? You're back?
Yeah.
Okay. So it does take you all night, or you suffer at one point of exhaustion, but you do end up finding. I mean, what are you looking for? Actually,
So
we'll
we're
talk about
looking-
it.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. We'll have a discussion in the morning, and then we'll talk about what you found. I'll reveal it too if you're looking for anything there.
It's more or less
about-
the same stuff that he was already looking for that he did not find. Because
Okay.
he didn't have, because he doesn't have a chance. He didn't have a chance to go through the Harvey library, and this is the next best thing. So it's like, all right, let's figure out about the past, and let's figure out about Ascalon and why that's important.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
How long has it been since our last level?
It's been a while. I'm not forgetting
We've-
it. So
we've
I was
normally-
planning on doing it. I was planning on doing it after the session. So I honestly was too. So don't.
Can we do it? Can we like have leveled up overnight?
Why? Well, just out of curiosity, why?
Yeah,
He must get something he wants.
I know I want something so bad.
I want
Probably
it.
not, bud. Probably not right now. Anyway, yeah, type it out to me. I can see the little dots going. Oh, pff. That shit, you stupid motherfucker. Anyway, we all sleep and we wake, and every single one of us except for Ord wakes up with this. Ord, you are tired, but we all wake up with a suddenly comfortable feeling. Maybe Yamdo slightly less so.
This don't feel like tree.
And let me find my thing. We find ourselves able to step out into the hallway, and turn it off.
okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I gotta turn that.
It should also go without saying, just real quick, that when Ord was finished, he made sure to put back everything as neatly as he found it.
Perfect. At the very least, everyone. So, you guys wake up, you rise, you're able to step in the hallway. Those of you who step out, you can see there's a light on at the end of the hallway in the sitting room, which I think you've seen. I'll ping it a little bit. Maybe Ord, you can find your way there. Yamdo, you on the other hand, wake up to a curious sight. You wake up to Hildy and Muse standing over you, just sort of staring at you.
Good morning.
Get lost in the night, did you?
Yes. Big place you have.
I expect Miss Harvey's bed was quite cold without you. Why don't you rise up and put some
Oh my
clothes on?
god, I love it.
Okay, yes.
Mm.
Hi.
And he leads you back downstairs towards
This
These
way.
presumptuous women.
This way. Which way?
I love it.
Which
this
way?
way, please.
Okay.
Thank you, Muse. And she dismisses Muse.
Come, Leonidas.
And Leonidas and you make your way down 2 flights of stairs, and everyone, I'm gonna ping it. Won't.
Bling.
So
Hell yeah.
Yamdo, you show up. Hildy shows up behind you, and she says, and Hildy says, "Miss Harvey, your guests." And as I'm assuming, is everyone entering the sitting room? Is that the plan?
Yes.
We can make them pretend there's more chairs in here than there are. There's actually a storage room next door that has chairs and things. If you didn't see that,
Oh yeah. Let me go ahead and bring my
There's 4
character.
benches.
and she says, "Miss Harvey, in the grand dining room, we will be serving breakfast shortly. I must apologize as we weren't expecting company, and I'm afraid that our variety may be a little lacking for taste of such refined women." And she throws Yamdo a nasty look, and then turns and storms out. Not storms out, but marches out.
What was that about?
I don't know. They woke me up and it said something. Never mind. What is for breakfast?
Well, I honestly don't know what they've got stocked around right now.
Mm.
And I absent-mindedly, kind of almost like I don't realize what I'm doing, I kind of sit down at the piano and just start tinkering around with the
Yo, can Lola play the piano? Oh,
Of course,
I know.
she's a well-bred woman.
yeah!
So, roll performance. Roll performance.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Do it.
I haven't had to have my character sheet out all night.
Let's
Oh,
go!
God, get it shit out. Get the shit
No
out.
fucking rolls, nothing, just pure fucking RP.
Makes you wonder, like, if you're an actor and you have to rely on a script, that's just gotta feel bad, you know? No.
Did I see? Yeah. Did I see my performance?
You said
Yeah.
performance.
Whoa! Let's go! Let's go!
You were slaying it with a beautiful, nice morning melody.
Hell
Everyone, as you enter this room, not only do you feel slightly strangely comfortable, you feel strangely at home, and you are soothed as you watch your beautiful companion, Lola Harvey, in a moment of just sophistication and refinement, and just like a delicate side of her that you haven't seen. She exquisitely, her fingers race across the keys of this piano.
Hell
As she
yeah.
plays you a beautiful tune this morning. It almost is hypnotizing to you all.
Sawyer is enjoying a morning cigarette with this music.
Hell yeah.
In the fucking house?
In the house!
Just,
Put-
don't let Hildy see you.
Somebody put that out. There it is. Yamdo's. This is probably the first time that Yamdo has seen Lola play the piano, and
It's probably the first time she's played in a while.
in a while,
the first
right?
time Yamdo's seen a piano.
A piano, like Yamdo's curious. Yamdo's curious, because he's used to like drums and very primitive instruments. I don't even think like I see a harp and a cello over there. So yeah, this is all foreign to him, and he sees as this music is coming from these keys and Lola, and it's nice. It's very different from the tribal drums and whatnot. And Yamdo's gonna press one key on the keyboard on the piano. Can I do a performance check to see what that one key sounds like?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's go. Hey, let's
nice.
go. He just manages he manages to catch the beat and goes ding, ding, ding. There you go. 3 notes. That's it. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
Hell
there's
yeah.
the metronome.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
You know, Yamdo, someday when we've saved the world, assuming anything is still standing, I'll teach you how to play the piano.
Yes, Yamdo would like that. to be taught this unique instrument, very different from the drums back home, but nice. Wait, serendipitous. Yes, yes. Drums back home, and Yamdo know how to play drums, and you know how to play what is this thing called?
It's a piano.
A piano. Piano. Serendipitous metaphor piano.
You may yet be a musical savant.
Sava. Too many words.
An expert.
Expert.
An expert. Savant, yes.
Savant. How serendipitous. Yamdo learned to be piano savant.
Yes. Or as some might say, a pianist.
Pianist. Wow.
If I may, did anybody dream last night?
Not Yamdo.
It's not exactly dreaming.
This is the
Well,
first time
if I
in a
did,
long
it
time.
wasn't the kind that we've been sharing.
Right. I find that to be quite reassuring that here in this place of safety and comfort, I believe this is the, first night? We've all had rather pleasant rest.
Well, honestly, Ordovik, you don't sound like you've had a lot of rest.
No, I couldn't quite figure out where best to rest my head, so I instead
It was like 19 other beds.
Well, I didn't really know which one was available, and I couldn't find anybody to ask permission. Everybody was tired.
One of the
Ord.
19, there's like 4
You
of
should
us.
have come to me. I would have found you a suitable space.
It was fine. Allow me to apologize in advance. I decided to simply retire into the study, and was absorbed by the great amount of texts that you have within your home.
Did you sleep at all?
No, not really. I was so invested in reading, in the research.
Well, maybe that's why we didn't have a shared dream.
What were you researching?
Much as what we had mentioned yesterday, Sawyer. The amount of time we have and the lingering threat. I know that we're comfortable now, but the day brings new challenges. I am trying to understand why our shared vision had certain elements to it. For example, we now know why Sawyer was so much older. We understand that the chronograph affects him. We don't understand what this group has to do with you, Ms. Harvey, but if they are connected to your grandfather, then that line seems to be quite apparent. The device that Sawyer has connected to your grandfather, and that connects you to them. And by extension, the dreams that I have had of the sarcophagus connect me to you. Furthermore, I was trying to understand why Solazar Brightwarden's hammer was in my hands. I have no relation. I have no shared blood, so to speak. I don't even know where that hammer lies. So why would I have it?
Oh, so you're not just him?
If I am, I wouldn't know it. But there was also mentions of a man named Brock the Bard.
Brock the Bard.
Yes, he was a bard who I was trying to figure out why. Remember the wedding visions we saw?
Yes.
Valandor and Sierra. There are no records of that day.
Wow.
Everything written about the supposed final battle of the Civil War supposedly takes place in a town called Tristan. But the only person who's ever written on anything related to it is this individual, Brock the Bard. And it's only ever been the end of the war, and then immediately what happened afterwards. And even more disturbing is that there's not a single mention of Falandor at all. It's as if he was erased from history. I don't know if your grandfather has ever mentioned a person named Brock, or if you know of a writer or an author named Brock the Bard, but I just had to get some. I just wanted to put that out there to share the information. I'm not sure where we're going to be able to head next, but this mystery is getting deeper.
Well, I do think that before we leave the city, we should go to my main library and see if there's anything there that can help. That's what I was doing originally before things took the turn they did.
Right. And then there was also this, and we all saw this. Actually, wait.
GM, did we all see the vision of the tiny wrapped hand with the gold locket?
Yes.
And Nicholas?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the matter of this.
But we also all saw. I think that all of us saw visions of all of us younger at some point.
Right.
In one way or another.
And Ord pulls out the gold.
Wait.
Gold locket.
Did I see? Okay, because I'm confused. So I don't remember that scene where I was a kid, but now that I've seen it, I'm aware of it, right?
Yes, you're aware of seeing it. Everyone saw it. You just don't remember that happening to some degree, right? Not
Yeah,
some
okay,
degree.
so then
or like
obviously-
maybe you were too young, right? But you just it sticks in your mind because it's not familiar to you.
Right. So now, obviously, I was a little distracted, but now that you bring it back up, I'd be like, yeah, Ord, how did I know about that?
That is the question. This
I was
locket
looking for it.
This locket has never left my side.
Since when?
Since I can recall.
Like, you were born with it? I mean, like, how old were you? Do you have any idea how many years it's been?
It was hazy, but what remains certain is that I do believe that I perhaps would have met Nicholas Harvey at some point.
You think you met Nicholas Harvey at some point?
Mm.
Like, because you're making conclusions, or because you kind of recall now happened to meet him?
I'm trying to come to conclusions from what I have seen.
So you don't remember meeting him. You're just assuming you may have. Do you have holes in your history that you don't remember?
Ooh, let's go. Good question.
How would you know?
Allow me to...
Take off my helmet?
No. I will not be taking off my helmet, but
Take off your helmet.
I should be more clear.
Take off your helmet, check.
Lola, I have met your grandfather.
What?
Let's go!
What do you
Is it-
mean?
It is a memory that has been very, very strong. Perhaps not his face initially, perhaps not exactly who he was, but his behavior, his mannerisms, his kindness.
When? Where?
He asked me what was in my hand, and I showed him. I showed him this locket.
Let's go.
You were the hand.
How long would have that been?
What were you doing in the dark?
Well, to answer your other question, yes, certain holes do seem to exist. I find myself riddled
Constantly
with them.
reburied in them? I mean, what?
Yes. I believe it was a wharf somewhere in Norbarrow. Yes, that is correct, Norbarrow.
So you met him when you were a child,
So long ago.
and you showed him the necklace, but did he
He
take
asked
it from
me.
you?
I couldn't tell you. I don't ever remember. No, it could not have left my side. This is far too valuable, far too important to me.
Maybe he sketched it, and maybe I just remembered seeing a sketch, so I was looking for something I had seen a sketch of.
I recall running. I recall fear.
You ran away from him? Was he trying to harm you?
No, I think I might have been more surprised myself. It was all so sudden. You can imagine when something collapses upon you and the first light you see and somebody's asking you for what's in your hand, it's not the most reassuring of things, but I was scared and disoriented, and I ran, I fled into the woods, yes.
Is there something about your necklace that is not ordinary? I mean, I know it's important to you for sentimental reasons, but is there something that would have caught my grandfather's attention?
It glows with a magical aura. Sawyer and I have confirmed this. The same way, well, not the exact same aura, but there is something to it. I do not know its make. I do not know its origin.
Does it have any kind of mechanical features, or is it all just strictly traditionally magical?
You are welcome to look.
Can I investigate it?
It only bears the initials SW.
Can I investigate it?
Investigate.
You most certainly can.
I want to investigate to see if it reminds me of any of the contraptions I'm familiar with.
Do you give it to her, Ord?
SW.
Yep.
Let's go!
Because
The trust is there.
trust Lola.
Okay. Yeah, Lola, he passes this amulet into your hand. And roll investigation check.
Let's go.
Please be careful with it.
Oh,
Of course.
my heart goes pitter patter. Let's go! Let's go!
Lola, you manage to even take out a knife or a tool, and you go to town on this thing. It doesn't have a latch. It doesn't have a door. It doesn't appear to be, there's not like a locket. There's no picture of someone inside. It's a relatively simple but beautiful, ornate locket hung gold on gold on a gold chain. And the letters SW are very ornately engraved on one side of it. The other side is completely bare. SW.
I don't know what those initials mean.
But I don't get the impression that this would be anything that would be something that, the tinkering things that my grandfather used to have.
To the best of your intellect, with a 21 investigation roll, you do not recognize this as part of any of his technology. There's nothing otherworldly about this at all. This is simple, relatively simple.
Okay. Well, it doesn't remind me of anything
Damn.
that my grandfather would have
I was muted.
had around his office. It
So
just seems to me to be a traditional necklace. I'm wondering why he was so interested in it.
Sawyer's gonna take off the chronograph. So it's in that lantern form. He's gonna place it on a nearby table, and he says, "Okay, this was cute, but let me just identify it, and we'll figure out what the hell it is."
Let's go.
Oh, yes, I completely forgot you could do that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's not like you can discern if it's one of the tinkering kind of items.
They can figure out a lot of things.
We know that there's magic involved in it. But every single book I've read could not identify anybody with the initials of SW, and I was
What was
hoping
the
maybe
lady's name? Her name started with an S, right?
Sierra, but her last name was Cromwell. And unless
What's-
Crom
what's-
was an addendum,
What's the husband guy's last name?
we don't know his last name.
We don't?
Valandor has no listed last name, and he is not in any of these books.
So it could start with a W, and that could have been a gift he was giving her for the wedding.
Yemdo goes up to Sawyer. Goes up to Mr. Macaradium, the great and powerful Ord, and says, Ordovik,
Yes, my friend.
I believe or Yamdo may have asked this question to you in the past, but was there ever a Mrs. Macaridian or a love interest?
Wow.
Because yeah, go.
Ord puts his hand.
Identify. When you say that, Sawyer goes, identify takes 10 minutes to cast, and I sure wish it didn't.
Ord places his hand against his heart.
Yes, gimme.
And you watch his fingers grip the fabric and tighten against it.
Come on.
The only thing that is there is, if there was, she is lost to me.
Maybe the initial. Go. Sorry.
You could be right. I do not know what the initials stand for, but what I can tell you is that if there was a Mrs. Macaridian, the only memory I have of her is that she is gone to me.
Maybe it's not SW, and then Yamdo turns it upside down. Maybe it's MS for Macaridian and the clan name of your partner.
I won't discredit it. It is possible. But
So do I have the amulet right now? Am I doing
I didn't think you'd have to hold it to cast it on, but sure you can.
I
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
I imagine Sawyer looks at it and is like turning it around to see if that makes sense at all, or if it doesn't make sense.
It just because of the engraving, you can tell that it does not make sense. There's like the ornateness around the top of, or like maybe the bottom, like one of them.
and if anything, my dear friend.
And Ord, oh, I'm struggling. Oh, okay, yep, we're gonna do it.
What are we gonna do?
Macaridian is just... It is a given name. It's a name I chose for myself.
I knew it, Falindor.
Oh!
I do not know who Falindor is. I only know what is missing. I can tell you that I am not 300 years old, Lola Harvey.
Are you sure? You seem to not remember a lot.
I recall the bitter cold of the north. I recall the lush pines, the trees of Norbarrow, the smell of stew and bread. I recall the stench of rot. I remember the cries of men. And I remember the kindness of your grandfather. But I do not remember that woman, Sierra. I do not remember that elderly man. I do not remember a place called Tristan.
Do you remember your real name?
What is a name?
The one you were given at birth.
If such a thing was given to me, then it is lost.
Do you not remember your parents?
No.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. Family is something that is found. Family is something that is cherished. You all are currently the closest things that I have to that.
Ord! Oh, stop. This is the content.
Did something happen where you... I don't understand why you have so few memories. Did Were you in an accident? Did something happen to you?
I remember betrayal. A sting. I remember that ache in my heart from something that was taken from me. That love, something that was so dear to me, now robbed. And then ruin.
Do you recall any other memories of my grandfather other than that one?
To my knowledge, just the one. I remember showing him
But you
this
don't believe
locket.
he took your necklace?
I believe that I ran.
Okay.
Margarita.
It is possible that it could have fallen. Things were hazy. Things have always been hazy.
When did they stop being hazy? Because you don't seem to forget much now.
When a young man reaches a certain maturity, they begin to see the world much more clearly. When I realized what it is that I wanted to do, what it is that I wanted to achieve and to be, I started to recall and to remember. Learning took time. But now I have a goal, I have a path. But everything before that, everything before I became who I am today, a maelstrom, a wild blur of impulse and errant hopes and dreams of grinding stone.
Well, I sure hope we can help you find some answers, Ord.
I hope I'll help you be able to find all of yours.
And I hope that we find them before the end of the world.
Well,
So, oh,
And
go
I
ahead.
hope I figure out what this is.
I was gonna
As
say,
I'm
Sawyer,
holding
how's
it.
that?
Yeah.
How's that detect magic coming?
So you all turn back towards Sawyer, and in shock, you see that Sawyer is sweating and shaking, and his hand is reaching towards the amulet. But you see that his fingertips towards the amulet, and his hand is turning black and is starting to fray a bit.
Ord. Oh wait, my voice. Ord, there's not even. It's like he just the frames disappear. There's no movement. There's no stride. He's just there. He's crossed this gap towards Sawyer's hands because now he feels terror.
So
Sawyer, what's
you're
going on?
standing between it or whatever?
I don't believe Ord knows how to interject himself because he sees that this hand is going black. And I feel like Ord would also try to reach out in this moment, perhaps to either take whatever this effect is away, while also yelling at Sawyer to, like, snap out of it.
You are like able to step in between him, or
Like,
maybe
is it right in
not.
front of him?
Yeah, it's like his hand is reaching towards it to cast Identify on it, and the hand that is reaching towards the amulet is like turning black slowly. Sawyer seems to be stuck in some sort of trance, sweating and unable to turn his gaze away from it, like he wasn't even hearing what you guys were saying.
Swear.
There's no answer from him.
I don't know what to do. I've never seen this.
Grab the amulet.
Ord's hand immediately reaches out and grasps the amulet, tries
You
to.
you snatch it and you feel its warmth and comfort in your hand. Sawyer's hand suddenly turns back normal. Sawyer, you snap out of it. But all of us witness something as this happens. The same thing that Sawyer saw. We see flashes of things we've seen before. Things we see Sierra, we see Falandor, we see Solazar Brightwarden, and we see things we haven't seen. There's chains, and these chains look like they're greasy. Something is dripping off of them, and Yamdo immediately, you sense fear as you remember the soothsayer's warning of beware chains that would bind you. And the chains, they're like snakes. They're hurling through the air. They're going for something. And you see a crown, and you see the hat of a religious man, a priest, a crown in this hat falling through the air. And you see, like, again, this grinding, this tomb shaking and grinding. And you see Sierra, and she's furious, and she sweeps maps and a compass and navigation equipment or surveying equipment off of a table, and you can see that she's furious about something. And you see Lola and Nick in that office, except for it's not the same as it was. It's darker. There's more blue colors. And young Lola turns to Nick and she says, and she's holding her regular amulet in her hand, and she says, "Not this one." And Nick looks around, and he looks at his fireplace, and his fire has almost gone out, and what embers are left in there almost seem blue. And memories start to come back to him about where he's been and what's going on and how old he is and how old Lola is, and things aren't adding up to him. And he looks down at his desk, and things on his desk don't make sense. And he looks up at Lola, and he looks this little girl in the eyes, and he says, "We're not in my office, are we?" And the young Lola just stares at him.
What?
What?
And the last thing that we see in this brief vision is the hat, the crown and the hat falling through the air. Just falling endlessly, this crown and this hat. And we hear something echoing as we see these things falling. We hear, "No witnesses."
Yeah! I'm telling you, man. This guy Law is a genius, bro.
I'm gonna wrap that session up right there, bro.
What a session.
Oh. Am I possessed?
Is Nick
Childhood
in like
Lola's creeping me out.
is Nick in like the bad place? Like what the hell?
Is Nick in the duat?
Is Nick in the duat?
Is Nick in the duat? Yo! Damn, what a session!
Room for one horror.
Oh no, what if my grandfather's the horror and they locked him in there?
Off my office.
Yeah.
That was excellent. What a session.
What?
We just
Yo, is
keep
Sawyer's-
topping it.
Is Sawyer's hand okay?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
fine.
turned
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
Oof.
But the vision and stuff that you saw was a reaction of this. Although Sawyer, you successfully cast the spell, and we'll follow up. I'll follow up with you. It's nothing extremely crazy though. It's not the answer to the identify spell is not going to make or break anything. I just have to figure out how to word it, I guess, because it's actually not like there's a magical essence about it, but it's not necessarily like I don't know. I'll think about how to word it to you because I have to think about it. Be careful about what I say.
Talk about it next session.
Talk about next session, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about next session.
Ah,
Trivia talks. What a fantastic RP
Yo.
session. I was about to.
thank you,
I was on-
Rascal. That was
on
a
the
great
verge.
conversation. I really enjoyed
That
that.
was so much fun.
Hell yeah.
Ugh.
It didn't go
That's
how I
so
expected.
good.
I honestly thought me and you were going to be yelling at each other. And it would have. Except Yamdo, daggone it, knows how to strike through right to the heart of Lola no matter what's going on. And he just stole all my thunder. I was about to go raring out on Sawyer, and you're just like, oh, Lola.
There it is,
I'm
Lola.
like, dang it.
Lola. Yo, oh my god. The Had no, not Hadda. The old lady, the
Hilda?
Hilda.
Hildy.
Or Hildy.
Hildy. Yo, whose NPC is Hildy's?
Mine.
Yeah, there we go.
She
Yo.
is, she was like the governess because my grandmother passed away when my father was young. So she raised him and was kind of tough, you know, but
Hildy.
she always kind of had a soft spot for me because she didn't have to actually raise me.
Hell
so
yeah.
she's kind of like the governess kind of lady.
Yo, I like Hildy. Hildy's cool. Hildy's cool. Oh my god. Well, Muse is my character, as well as the
Love it.
yeah.
I love the gargoyles.
Yo, Muse is great with rinse and wash. Are the gargoyles, are her gargoyle companions, and her raven. Her raven's name is Floss. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see.
We didn't see Oakley yet. No.
No, we didn't see Oakley, which is fine. We also
It
didn't
was
see Kyle's
nighttime.
character.
We
But
haven't
Kyle's
seen
character, we were
Lionel.
on the verge of seeing Kyle's character.
Yo.
Right on the verge.
Almost.
Yeah.
He'll probably bring in breakfast.
Props to everyone on what is probably the best RP session I've ever had in my entire life. Dude.
Hell
That
yeah.
It was so
unbelievably good. Like S rank to Lola for sure.
Yeah.
S plus to Lola, S to Sawyer. You guys did great, dude.
Phenoms, bro. Phenoms.
But Rosie, you were on top. You were like on point that whole session from
Yeah.
the beginning with
Thank you,
shutting out
thank you.
Sawyer to the end with like questioning Ord and actually being sympathetic to, instead of like being like, you know, you could have been like, you don't even know who the hell you are. Like you were just sympathetic towards him. Like as honestly, what is some of Ord's truth is that Ord doesn't. I mean, I guess Kyle can talk about it. I guess if he'd like.
I mean, you can speak to it. We've talked about this in depth. Like, I mean, yeah. Again, are we in tribute talks now?
Of course we
Yes.
are.
Tribute talk.
Of course we are. We gotta be, dude. We gotta do it.
So I probably, you know what? I feel like realistically, Ord probably would have added this to the conversation. She was like, "How old are you?" Because Ord himself doesn't have a full, clear understanding of that, but to his knowledge, he is 60 years old.
Which is how
Old
I
head.
know your character.
Motherfucker.
You old
I
head.
figured he was about that age. That's how I've always kind of envisioned him. Other than
Yeah.
the fact that I literally think he's 300 years old. But I always picture you about 60.
But that's to his knowledge,
To his knowledge.
and it's
yeah.
like
right.
he has
Yep.
he has all of these gaps that he can't quite place, and these feelings and these like the grinding stone and the chains, again, just being like a constant nightmare. It's a thing it's always present. He always feels the ache of a lost love, and he feels the sting of an unknown betrayal. And so like when you all ask him like, "So bro, what's your story?" He's like, "What is my story? What is a story? Who and why?" And it spirals.
I think you're in the sarcophagus.
I feel like y'all are going to hit very soon a moment where Ord cracks, and not like in that bad way where it's like he has like an emotional breakdown, but it's like I feel like y'all are right there. Y'all are right there to the point where Ord just like, well, y'all wanted to peek under the hood.
Oh my God! Let's go back
Let's
to
go.
it. Let's go.
Take it off! Take it off! Take off the fucking helmet! Bonus credit scene! Bonus credit scene. Years later.
But Ord also was very tired because he
Yes.
stayed up all night reading books, so he's just taking a nap right now.
It didn't
Oh,
do that, baby.
no. Don't tease us like that,
There
bro.
it is.
You kill me. Ugh, kill me, slay me, Kyle.
I'm telling you, he freaked out though, seeing Sawyer's hand go black. That was a oof.
Yeah, I was wondering why you freaked out so much about that.
We'll dig into that in session.
Oh my God, we gotta wait 2 weeks for another session. Fuck you, Kyle. The goddamn laptop, you nerd.
Yeah, go
On
play
the plane.
D&D in Denmark.
Yeah.
Something I
Unbelievable.
love is that we don't even need D&D. Like, we
Nope.
don't even need roles.
It's like just talking.
We
Yeah,
can
who
just
needs dice?
play it out.
Well, and that's the best part of it, man. It's really the best part of it, and it's like an evolution too. Because as I've gone on, it's like I'm sort of just actively like cutting combat scenarios out of the campaign because it's like it's more fun to talk through it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
And it feels good when the combat finally does come. It's like, oh shit, right.
Especially if I
'cause
keep
then
it
you know it's
short,
for
because
real, yeah.
I honest to God think combat is one of the worst parts about
It's
it.
pretty boring.
Yeah.
So to
and
be
unless-
fair, oh, go ahead.
No, I just think that like the only way to make it nice is to like, and I didn't really do it really well with any of the ones so far, but it's something I'm gonna definitely try to do. Is like to not, I don't want to say mix it up, but like when you have combat against an intelligent enemy, it's gonna like involve like conversation while it's happening, kind of, like he's taunting you and like,
dream.
Well,
what's the
like,
dream?
Being able to talk, like
Session
he's
one.
always wanting to talk to the villains, like
Yeah.
to
Social combat,
understand them and to
Well, it's
communicate
gonna-
with them, and it's always like, no, just hit them.
I'll never forget when you got to the big boss fight and you were like, can I talk to him?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like, all right.
He's like playing chess with the devil or whatever.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah,
give
like,
it to Yanda, though.
Hold on, I guess the best example I can think of my like talking during combat is like great moments like that like Star Wars Episode 3 when like fucking Darth Vader's legs are cut off in the lava and Obi-Wan is like, you were the like, I want to have villains be like you can't stop me.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, we can't stop you because blah blah blah, blah. And it's like, no, like in like just conversation like that.
Yeah.
Just keep it. Instead of just being like, it's your turn, you roll, and it's like, I hate that. I hate
Yeah.
that.
I love it when the bad guys have motive.
Yeah.
I love intelligent, like combat in any media. Like if you're doing a fight scene in a book, in a movie, in a video game, that fight has to tell a story. It can't just be two people slapping each other. Like I think so far the best combat that has exemplified that has been honestly the alternative Sawyer.
Yeah.
Like, we got to see Sawyer come through, and this was a Sawyer that has gone down a totally different path. And like narratively, we're seeing, okay, this is what Sawyer could be, and that Sawyer went after our Sawyer out of pure blood rage.
Mhm.
And like we can just immediately infer from that like this Sawyer is either just like either in pain from being displaced, or maybe he treats this whole ordeal like a curse and he's like, nope, like just gotta kill all, like it's like Highlander, there can only be one.
Mhm.
Right? So narratively, like
So, I don't know if maybe Law didn't mention this, but the Sawyer that we fought didn't have a chronograph.
no,
Mhm.
but he had a big ass sword and a full set of armor.
Yes, it did.
I mean, like, if you, not to reference my favorite movie of all time, but like, if you go to The Princess Bride, every fight that he does, there's talking.
Talking, yeah.
Mhm.
Like, when he
Absolutely.
fights the sword fight, they're constantly talking about, like, where did you train and this and that. And even, like, in serious movies, I feel like some of the best combat, it's almost like,
It's a dance.
it's
Yeah,
almost,
it's a
I was going to
dance.
say, it's almost
Yeah.
like flirting almost. It's
Mhm.
like kind of a sensual dance to some extent, other than
Mhm.
when people are just whacking and shooting each other.
Mhm.
But some of the best villain hero fights, it's almost kind of like, like a dance. It's kind of cool. I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that I almost like want to do that. There is no initiative, and it's like I do like
I've-
narrative combat, like where
I've
it's
watched
like,
a couple videos on narrative combat, and it seems interesting. I'd be willing to pick
I
one and
would-
try it.
Yeah,
I would
man.
kill for narrative combat.
I mean, yeah, I do. Like, I got a fucking sheet of all my spells and how they look and all that
Mhm.
shit. So
yeah, but it's also kind of like. I guess actually, maybe we'll think about it because there could be some great moments. So
I
And
think
it
we-
doesn't have to be
it's-
everyone.
No, of
there can be
course not.
plenty of just
Yeah.
regular fighting.
like I
so-
did think about it for the Bloody Wench. Oh, sorry to
No,
jump in
no,
right
go
there,
ahead.
but, like in the, I guess in terms of like trying to implement the narrative combat, I was thinking about that during the Bloody Wench fight where it was like in the middle of, attacking instead of just like clubbing Hillary Weybridge with a hammer. It's like, think of your daughter, think of your life, like using social skills to end the combat peacefully. Or
Yeah,
are you guys referencing like hitting story beats in the middle of a fight?
I think I'm thinking more for me it's more like that you're fighting a jaguar and it like dashes by you and slashes at you guys, and everyone that it passes by has the opportunity to swing at it. Hold on a second. And then like maybe the jaguar like jumps against a wall and like runs out the door, and like now you guys have the opportunity to run after it, and the first person through the door doesn't realize jaguar's right on the other side and it slashes at you. So like, but then like you, and maybe it's like Ord is first person through the door and the jaguar misses, so the Ord sees the jaguar in time and slaps its claws away with the shield, and then Ord gets an attack. Like, and instead of doing initiative, that's how I do all of combat. So that's like that's what I'm talking about. Like, but that's my thought on it.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
The only thing I was going to say earlier, I have never really watched other D&D people before. I've seen like tiny clips of things, but I actually sat down and started to watch the first episode of the newest Critical Role.
Yeah. How good was it?
Where they were all getting to know each other's characters. And that's one thing you were just pointing out. I'm like, there were so few roles. And obviously there was no combat because it was the beginning, but it was basically what we do here.
Yeah,
it was just
absolutely.
so much talking. And now that you mentioned, I realized, gosh, and this like, delete this out, edit this out of this video. Honestly, I wasn't really all that impressed, like that they were light years better than we are, and I thought that was pretty cool. I think you guys are just as good as they are. Like, I wouldn't have said that 2 years ago. Like my first character in Adventure Zone, because it was always just, okay, who can we kill and not think about the consequences.
Yeah.
But I was watching them and I'm like, they're really good, but so are we.
We are now. Well, you gotta think they've been playing D&D for a really long time, and now we have as well.
Yeah.
That's my point. It
also
just shows our
have-
growth. I just found it
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And years of professional voice acting
That's
stuff.
the thing. Yeah.
Well, that part I can't do voices, and I don't pretend to be able to.
Oh,
I'm
not
just trying
even
to
just
do personality.
The voices. It's like the full improv, like being able to just bounce off of what somebody's saying immediately. Like when Yamdo was like, "If you turn it round, it make MS," and I was like, "You know what, man? You got me there." Like I had this moment where I froze because I was like, "He's not wrong."
I know it could be. I mean, I was like,
And like, or
I was laughing
like,
at first. And I was like, actually, that's an honest to God. Like
Yeah.
that could be a thought.
like Kyle Brain was like, "This is really cute," but Ord Brain was like, "I've not considered it." So like, had I been faster, had I not had that like those two moments of thinking instead of just going straight to Ord Brain, I would have been able to immediately just like snap into like, "Oh my God, you're right. It could be MS. Who is MS?
Who is Emma?
Well, yeah, like
That would be
you threw
hilarious.
me out. Like I was all in character. I was all angry, and then you gave your little speech. I'm like, I don't even know how to react now because
Pyramid.
I'm like all venomous, and then there's this Yamdo beautiful speech. and
Beautiful
I'm like,
speech.
I don't
Done in
even-
pure
like,
Yamdo fashion.
you just
so
totally stole all that
good.
venom from me. It took me a minute to recover. I was like,
So-
shoot,
Flip them
okay,
claws
well,
before she walks
Yamdo
out.
Gotcha.
said, "Oh, you're-
I
so
know.
you're
I
light
had
too high."
to literally change the
Kill each
entire. Because I kind of had a plan, I kind of had a thought of how this was going to go out, and
Well-
I just had to rewrite it all in my head.
Of
So
course.
she
Well, that's
did
what's
that.
great. Not only did you have to rewrite in your head, but that's Lola also being swayed by Yamdo.
Right.
Like Lola also
Right,
had
'cause
probably
she
had
would
her
be.
mind set to be a dick to Sawyer. like she and Lola's, like we discussed, Lola's going through a lot. She's got a lot of stuff on her mind, so she probably was just like
And he's
taking
an
out
easy target.
vengeance. Yeah.
He was an easy target to take the vengeance out on, and
Yeah.
Yamjo just sucked that all up.
Ah!
Yamdo's pure. Yamdo's good like that.
Yo, bro.
Oh shit. Oh, never mind. We didn't get there. That's all good.
Oh, and how about the? I'm sure Lola's bed was a little cold.
Yo, bro.
Yamjo
Law.
doesn't tell Lola that they said
Yeah,
that.
dude.
Law, I love that you're playing with that. It's so funny to me. Just like, We'll
The
find
content.
maybe
He's like,
Harvey a
I'm not
better
saying
suitor.
it.
And
I'm
you're
not
like,
telling her.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
He
I
looks so genuinely confused because he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not a suit for Lola.
Not a suit. What is suitor?
Yeah,
That
I
is
just
so
totally
good.
ignored that.
So good. Well, that's. I just feel like that would be
bed was
Hildy.
colder.
Right?
Like maybe she knows, or maybe she doesn't. Maybe just think like she's probably just testing to see if Lola is still young and dumb. Like, and I don't mean young and dumb in a mean way. I mean like just
Innocent.
yeah, or immature. Like, because everyone's got like a not, I guess, college era. Is like she a college
Right.
chick? Like, is she just crashing in her family's estate, or is she on business, or is she an adult and doing stuff? Like, what is the she's been gone for
And
so
there's
long.
this like weird, strange man who obviously is attached to her quite
Yeah.
strongly. I can see where they
But
would,
also, obviously, is either like stupid or like, because the thing is, Yamda's no longer. If he was still in the loincloth, it'd be like, huh, like what the, like it'd probably like another thing. But
Yeah.
she is. If he was still in the loincloth, then she would probably immediately be like, this is a foreigner. This is some like expedition trophy or whatever you want to say.
Expedition trophy. Hell yeah.
he is
Oh my
not a
God.
trophy.
Okay,
Oh,
but like because he's wearing regular clothes, it's just
Yeah.
like, is this guy an idiot? Like, who is this? Like, with the head that she's
What?
dragging around? Like,
yeah, like the rebellious guy that she picks up at school.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
irritate the
Right,
family.
yeah.
With a
And I also
celestial
like
lion.
What a lion! What does
Wait,
fucking
wasn't
lion
that
come
like
from? Oh my
wasn't
God.
that a what's the guy? Oh, I'm aging myself. Son-in-law. What's the name of the comedian guy? Oh, come on, Pauly Shore. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Pauly
Pauly
Brings
Shore.
him home
Yeah.
to take off her family.
Damn.
Well, I also like the moment when she was like throwing a fit about you guys. She was like almost saying you guys are vagrants, and then she's like, "It's good to have a Harvey back in this." I thought that was a cool one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
And
caught
then,
me off guard. I was like, man, she really didn't recognize me.
And then
Damn.
honestly, got the Leonidas
Yeah.
coming back.
That
great,
was
too.
the best. Because I think you got,
The
I think you
music.
got Rascal too. Yeah.
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 Do we want a quick little after credit scene?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want one, sure. You
Yeah.
could even do two.
This is how much fucking thought I've put into these spells, because I think about which multiverse, like what is different about that universe for Sawyer, and why he's pulling that, and he's pulling the from a universe where Sawyer and Lola have a way better relationship. Like they're so much better, nicer to each other, so much so that Lola has been teaching him how to shoot guns.
Damn.
And so he's pulling from that universe, like the knowledge of using guns and is using constructs.
Aw. Did I see the gun when you pulled it out, or were we back to back?
Yeah. No, I think you saw
I
it.
imagine you guys were like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like
okay.
I feel like you didn't realize it, and then you had to like double take, and you see that.
So
it's
then
a
I
fucking-
probably looked over. I was like, afterwards, I was like, nice gun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like that reality where we get along better.
Well, you're there now. You're there now.
Well, we're just starting. We'll have to see
I
how it goes.
gotta go back and I can't wait to listen to this one. It's so good, so good, so good, so
Content,
good.
bro. The content.
Can't wait to watch the clip of me saying "fucking psychotic."
And poor
that
Rascal,
was good.
he like the second that come out of his mouth, he's like, Roisin, I don't mean it, I promise.
Oh, I know.
What
As
it
if
is,
I
you
would
know
be
what it is?
offended.
Because I,
That's so
I
good.
think back, every episode for the last 6 episodes, I've thought back to when I was putting the Adventure Zone group together, and I was so close to not including you because I wanted to keep it to a 3-person group, and it was Yams and Dima for sure, and I was gonna bring Manura because they're married, so I was like it'll be easier on scheduling, blah blah blah. But I like Roisin better.
Mm.
And I feel like there's so much
Oh, Manura.
potential there for a good RPer
Hell yeah.
if she sticks with it. And here we are a few
Yeah.
years later.
Aw.
And you're killing it
Woo!
every session.
Meanwhile,
yeah,
here's
bro.
Law
Since you're
whispering
being
you
so
like
nice, let me
every
tell you
day,
this.
begging you to let me play with you.
All
So
right.
hold on. Just full disclosure, Rascal. This is how much I love you. I quit brains for you.
Right. Yo, there it is.
Because it was either be friends with Rascal and not be in brains, or stay in brains and not like Rascal anymore.
There it is.
Oh, no. fucking
So,
cancer.
because I couldn't handle
bad
the raid
time.
rascal. The raiding
That was
rascal
a
and I
bad time.
didn't work well. So I was like, you know what? That's fine. I'm just gonna quit brains and I'll just D&D with my boys and it'll be all good.
I appreciate that.
I think, didn't I whisper you and say something about like?
Yeah, you were
like,
you were
a
scared
couple
that I was
weeks
gonna
ago, I
like
was
kick you
like-
out.
No, I just was like, I hope you know that I'm not being mean to Sawyer because I don't like you.
There it is.
But no, I remember when you quit, you messaged me like, I hope this doesn't mean I'm out of the D&D.
You're
And I was
gone.
like, that never would have crossed my mind for a moment.
Good.
Yeah, I chose
I-
D&D over WoW
yeah,
right then and there.
I would have quit WoW for D&D every day. Like
The
absolutely.
content.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and again, I owe you my entire D&D existence, and I absolutely, this is my favorite hobby. Even if I didn't play another video
That's the
game
best.
again the rest of my life,
Mm.
I just love D&D. So
That's the best part. You can thank Kyle. He's patient
right, it's
zero.
like a
Yo,
chain.
patient zero. Patient zero. Hell yeah,
So I'm
dude.
so glad
All
to get to
'cause of
meet
that
the OG.
Fucking Dead Space little one shot.
You in the space
Planted
doors and
the
the baby
seed.
rattles.
And then we finally get Law in here, and he is rocking it as the DM. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah.
took years.
Take the
Took
wheel.
years.
Took
This
years.
campaign is better than any I've ever played that were pre-written
So
by
good.
wizards.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. We had a great little session here today. That's for sure. It was sure is a mystery afoot. I will tell you that. There is a, and now we've all seen this mysterious blending of visions we've seen before with a couple little extra details, well, mysteries, clues to add to the mystery, and it's got something to do with the amulet.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anyway,
And we have to wait 2 weeks. But you know what's going to be
Oh.
the case in 2 weeks?
Hmm.
I will
What
have
the-
sold my house and I won't
Oh
hate
my-
life as much.
Yeah.
there you go. That'll be great.
So we went trick-or-treating in the new neighborhood on Halloween. So I got to meet some of the neighbors and it was just so
That's
much fun. I
nice.
just cannot wait to move. So this Friday is the day, and the way things are working around where I live, the house will probably have like 9 or 10 showings on Friday, and we'll have offers before the end of the day. So it'll only have to be listed for 1 day, thank goodness, and then I can start to move on with life.
Yep. There
There
it
you
is.
go.
Because I'm telling you what, getting a house ready to sell with 3 dogs and an 8-year-old, it's like no matter what you do, like the next day everything's all
As you
undone.
clean,
You
yeah.
gotta do it again.
Yep.
It's so hard. Oh, and then
Love
my
it.
junk people. I was so when I looked and I saw the messages about D&D tonight, I could have cried. I'll be honest, because it had been a hard day. Like tomorrow is when the realtor's coming to stage. I had some junk stuff. I had the junk people coming, or they said they were coming, and then I kept waiting and waiting, and they never came. Finally, I get someone to call me back. They were supposed to be here from 4 to 6. At 7:30, someone finally calls me back to say, "Oh, we had you down tomorrow." I said, "No, the email and the text confirmation both say today." And then they're like, "Oh, but we sent you another text at like 6:30 that said tomorrow." I'm like, "So wait, after my time appointment today, you sent me a message saying I was confirmed for tomorrow. After I was already later than what I was supposed to be done."
Somebody was forced to
I was
call you. Some intern had to
flipped.
call you.
I know,
and
I was
trying to lie
flipping
their
out.
way out of it,
So
dude.
finally, they're going to come tomorrow at 9, which will be in time. But it was like right in the middle of flipping out about this trash stuff is right when I saw the messages. I'm like, I get to do D&D tonight.
Just what I needed.
D&D.
Perfect.
D&D.
Perfect. Ah, beautiful.
Powerful
What a
session.
good session.
Powerful, bro.
Very good, very good.
Don't cut that recording and start uploading.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So, this was a powerful session, ladies and gentlemen, filled with nonstop RP. Wow, RB. Turn it upside down. The P is a B. RP, ladies and gentlemen. Phenomenal, 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 bro. I'm loving the synthwave, that law you're playing in the background. Phenomenal, phenomenal, bro. And so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's that, bro. What will our heroes get into next time, ladies and gentlemen, with all of this newfound information? That's right. This one, young Lola says, I'm telling you, bro, it's powerful. So give it up for the great, the powerful Rascal, the amazing, the wonderful, oh, my sister Roisin,
Hello.
Give it up
And
for
good night.
my brother Kyle.
Great playing with all of you. Hope you all enjoyed it.
And the man that brings it all together. The savior of laws. Law savior.
Thanks, Yams. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for playing. You have a good night.
You have a good night, yeah.
Have a good
And we'll
night,
catch
yeah.
you
You
in
too.
the next one. And bada boom and